Hi, everybody. I'm so deeply grateful and happy to be present with you right now. I absolutely do not take it for granted. I know there's a million things that we could be doing with our time. And the fact that you are taking a moment to connect to yourself, to show up for your deepest desires and dreams, to claim what it is on your heart, I'm grateful for it. And I'm happy to be present with all of you. We have a lot. We've a lot to explore in this chunk of time. So I'm just going to set the intention that we are going to stretch time a little bit and that everything is going to fit in. And here is what I ask of you. For the next 60 minutes, please be completely present. Give yourself this gift to show up for your deepest desires and dreams this upcoming year. I am a true testament that not only do these practices work, they are quite potent. And when you find the right one that resonates with you, it leads to this miraculous life. And I'm of the belief that magic is real, miracles occur naturally, and we sometimes just need to tune in to that frequency, relax into that frequency, surrender into that frequency. So as we begin to explore these practices together, I'd love for you to drop in the chat. Are you new to my workshops? Is anybody new, a first timer in a free masterclass with me? Ooh, I think I need to open up the chat. One moment. Beautiful. The chat is open, so just let me know if this is your first time or if you've been many times with me on a free live masterclass. And also let me know where you are calling in from. Where are you in the world? Melissa says, it's my first, Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. Melissa, I know Pleasant Prairie quite well. Actually, I was just looking at property out there. So amazing. So happy to have you. And I love Pleasant Prairie. It's beautiful. I think some of you are sending it privately to me as opposed to the chat. No worries. Hi, Sherry. You've been with us before. Thanks so much for rejoining us from San Francisco. So happy to have you. Hi, Erin. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Amazing. Pennsylvania. Happy to have you. I'm chit-chatting with all of you from Chicago right now. My husband, daughter, and I are from, well, Eden's technically a Texan because that's where she was born. We're from Chicago and we are traveling for the next year or so. So we'll be in Mexico for a good chunk of December. Then we have a 3-month lease in Costa Rica, and I love Costa Rica. And you just become a different person when you dip into the ocean 3 times a day. And then I have a transformational retreat meeting in Tuscany in Italy in May. So we'll be in France and Italy, April and May, and then traveling a little bit next summer as well. And this is all part of themes that I've manifested. I have a freedom-based business. I'm CEO and founder of Spiritual Intelligence. We have certification trainings. I know many of you are in or graduates of the Aligned Coaching certification, where you become a certified meditation teacher and spiritual psychology coach. And if you're unfamiliar with my story, I've spent my 20s living in Israel and India, across Asia and Europe. I have my master's in clinical psychology and education from Columbia University, and everything I share with the world is rooted in Eastern ritual and Western psychology. And for those of you that know me well, I have a little bit of a cold, so my voice is extra sultry for all of you right now. So I'm sure you can hear the difference if you listen to my podcast. I have the Wise Woman podcast. Our new season started on Sunday, so it just started, and there are so many episodes coming your way. So I'm extremely grateful to be present with all of you, and today we are going to be talking about Dreams 2025. And I just want to take a moment right now, wherever you are, If you are driving or operating machinery, please don't close your eyes, but everybody else, I just want you to take a moment to close your eyes and just connect to your breath and give yourself this moment. Inhale deeply through your nose, lower belly expands. Exhale through your mouth, let it go. Let's do this one more time. Inhale deeply. And exhale, let it go. And just decide right now. Decide right now that you are going to show up for yourself. Decide right now that you are going to give this masterclass your undivided attention. Decide right now that you are going to show up deeply and completely for your deepest desires and dreams. Inhale deeply to seal it in. Exhale through your mouth to share it with all those around you. And when you're ready, you can roll your shoulders back, gently open up your eyes, coming back into this space. Beautiful. Divine. Okay, we are going to jump right in. So I like to always start with the things that I've manifested into my life. So I manifested my husband. It's a story that we're actually going to get into a little bit because it's chapter 6 in my book, Nothing Can Stop You, A Revolutionary Guide to Unleash Your Authentic Self. And right now we are still honoring our Black Friday promo, where if you buy $22, you do get a one-on-one session with me and Soul Immersion, which is an incredible life-changing online course, spiritual course. And in my book, Nothing Can Stop You, I do have a whole chapter dedicated to manifestation, but the truth is I have a whole book that I could share rooted in manifestation because there's so much out there. And we're going to begin our conversation today by talking about Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard is a mystic from the 60s from Barbados who came to the States and started sharing a lot of these profound, life-altering practices. And the way that we're going to talk about manifestation today, I like to share diverse routes so you could decide what resonates and then leave what doesn't. And what I love about Goddard is he shared very specific, tangible practices. And there are people that like to have a physical, tangible practice, and then there are people who like to just tune into the embodiment. They're two different lineages of thought, and I invite you to choose whichever one most resonates with you. I do share about him a lot on social media, but we're going to talk about the practices in a little bit of a different way right now. Beautiful. So, this is Dreams 2025. We're talking about Neville Goddard, and the first practice we're going to talk about of his, I call it the congratulations method, but it's also considered the telephone method. So when you think about what you most desire, I want you to visualize somebody calling you and saying, congratulations, Sammy, so happy and excited for you. Congratulations on achieving this great thing that you desire. So let's say you desire to manifest your highest possible soulmate. You are going to visualize somebody calling you and saying, congratulations on your engagement. I'm so happy for you. I saw your post on social media, sharing in the joy. This is so wonderful. If you are manifesting fertility and you desire to get pregnant, you are going to visualize your aunt calling you and saying, I just talked to your mother. I heard that you are having a baby. This is the most wonderful thing ever. Congratulations. That's how the congratulations method works. It's going to give you clarity on the thing that you desire to be congratulated for. So ask yourself, what do you want to be congratulated for? The second practice that we are going to talk about by Neville Goddard is the whisper method. The reason the whisper method I think is so maybe controversial is it has to do with other people. So when you think about the whisper method, you are going to picture somebody that is a major decision maker for you to achieve the thing that you most desire. So for me, there's this speaking engagement that I deeply desire. I want to be chosen to be this keynote speaker for an event that's occurring next summer. And there's a very specific person that is essentially the decision maker in charge of inviting me in to be that keynote speaker. So if I were to implement the whisper method, I would find out the name of this person and maybe go to their LinkedIn profile and become clear on who they are, what they look like, where they work, where they are in the world. So let's say this specific person, they're in New York City, they're in a high-rise building, they have a corner office, and they're maybe looking at a piece of paper for a couple different options of a keynote speaker for this luncheon that this person is hosting. And maybe there is a printed out piece of paper with my headshot, my bio, maybe some past speaking engagements that I've had, maybe a little bit about my book. And I'm going to picture this person looking at this piece of paper. Maybe they open up their computer and they go to Amazon and they see my book, Nothing Can Stop You, and all the positive reviews there. Maybe they go to my YouTube channel and they see all the speaking engagements that I've had and my videos where I educate on Eastern ritual and Western psychology and science of happiness and deep nourishment. Maybe they see that I have a retreat coming up in Italy in May and they think to themselves, oh, that's cool. In the whisper method, you visualize a version of yourself astro traveling to them. So almost like an angel-like version of you. And you're transparent. And you visualize that version of yourself. So I visualize the version of myself going up to this person in their office. And I'm standing right next to them, maybe on their right side. And I visualize this person looking at their computer, and there's a printed out picture of me to their left, a page that has information on me. And they're thinking to themselves, should I hire Erin? Should I bring in Erin to be the keynote speaker for this event, or should I have some of these other people? In the whisper method, you are going to whisper your desired action in their ear 3 times. So I would whisper into their ear, sign Erin for this speaking engagement. Sign Erin for this speaking engagement. Sign Erin for this speaking engagement. And whenever you are implementing the whisper method, you are going to share this from a place of highest good and authenticity. Not manipulative, knowing that if I am chosen to speak at this event, I am going to share the most inspiring, uplifting speech that people are going to be transformed in that moment. So I'm showing up and whispering from a place of goodness and authenticity. And then when you finish whispering into their ear, you can end it in any way that feels authentic for you. You can give them a hug, a high five, a fist bump. You can kiss them on the cheek. And you almost picture yourself leaving that space and just trusting that the aligned action is going to be taken. Trusting that they will receive that whisper. And that's a really fun method. As always with any of these methods, just decide if it resonates with you, just decide if it feels good, just decide if it's fun. And we're going to get into the science behind all of this in just a moment. But that's the whisper method. So far we connected to our breath. We're getting clear on our dreams. We talked about the congratulations/telephone method, the whisper method. And there's 2 more methods that I want to share with you before I get to the holy grail of manifestation practices. The second one I actually spoke about on social media yesterday. And it's so hard to speak about these practices in 90 seconds when they require a lengthier conversation. So the shower manifestation practice. And for those of you who know me or have been following my journey, the showering manifestation practice, it's a deep embodiment practice, and it really saved me early postpartum. I was in 40 hours of natural labor with my Eden. My body just was it's so wild because Eden just turned 1, and I can't believe that this was already a year ago, but my body essentially was out of commission. I couldn't sit up straight, let alone walk. I was so dependent on my family, on John, to use the restroom. I was depleted in a way that I've never experienced before. And I just say unwell. Like I was so unwell and disconnected. I was not any version of who I am now or who I was then. And the one spiritual practice that I could maintain after I learned how to sit up, after my body got stitched up again. So it's actually quite common, just a little tangent. I had 2nd-degree tears, which is quite common with a vaginal birth, and my stitches popped. So my body rejected the stitches and I had to get restitched. And actually this happens in 30% of women. I had no idea. So to go through that process, I believe like the healing process, it's almost equal to, if not harder than the actual labor of it all. So allowing my body to heal, allowing my body to be stitched up multiple times, moving to a state of stillness that was so disorienting. For those of us that like to move, I'm not a compulsive mover. I'm not always busy. I think that's like a trap to get stuck in. But to be dependent on somebody to help you walk across a room, when I used to live in silent ashrams on the other side of the world. I used to book one-way plane tickets and go gallivant. I've dined in restaurants by myself. I've had this hyper-independence life for so long. And the one ritual I could maintain once I could sit up, once I could stand, once I could walk, is I would shower. And I would step into the shower, the depleted mother, the exhausted mother, the version of my mother, even the term mother was so foreign to me. And I would let the water rush over me, and I would allow my compulsive negative thought patterns, my limiting beliefs, just how jolted I was by motherhood. And I would allow the water to cleanse me. So let's talk about water. Water is a sacred element. There's a lot of water babies here. Those of us that heal when we dip in the ocean, a pool, a lake, when we take a bath or shower, even when we properly hydrate and drink a full glass of water. Even for those of us that grew up in colder climates, do you remember when you'd have to wake up early in the morning to go to school or to go to work, and you would turn on the sink and warm water would come while you're brushing your teeth? Like it's 6:30 in the morning, you have the whole day ahead of you, and you'd allow yourself to just sit and let your hands be washed by the water. So many of us heal in the presence of this element, and it's because it's a portal. In Judaism, it is said that wherever there is water, there is God. What is water? In all organized religion, it is symbolism for cleansing, rebirth, and renewal. We have a baptism. We have mikvah. So a baptism is when you're like being reborn into the Catholic faith. A mikvah is when you cleanse yourself in Judaism to come out renewed. In so many different temples, you wash your hands or your feet before walking inside a sacred temple or a mosque. Water is an element that transports you, and it can lead to a quantum jump. It can lead to a different timeline. And I would say to myself, I would chant my I am statements, which we're going to get into in just a moment. I would say to myself, once I get out of this water, I'm going to be the version of myself I need to be. Once I get out of this water, I'm going to embody the nourished mother. I am a nourished mother. I am a nourished mother. I'm not fazed by lack of sleep. I'm not fazed by how challenging this is right now. I know who I am. I am a nourished mother. I am going to move through this with grace. I am going to embody the version of myself that is nourished, that is well-fed, that is spiritually connected, that is just over the moon joyful to be a mama. And I would step out of that shower and I would be that version of myself for as long as I could. Now, here's the thing about embodiment. If you can stay consistent in that embodiment, you will change your life. If you can stay consistent in that embodiment, you will quantum leap. You will be on a different timeline. So getting out of the shower, I would ask myself, what would a nourished mother do next? Well, a nourished mother would maybe do a load of laundry because the pile's kind of getting higher and higher. And I need to make sure she has clean onesies for her next nap and for her next sleep. A nourished mother would meal prep a beautiful bowl of soup, a bone broth, a chili, a pulled chicken recipe, so that I'm getting adequate nutrients and proteins so that I can continue producing breast milk. A nourished mother would maybe take a moment to lay down and trust that John can play with Eden a little bit. A nourished mother would ask for help. A nourished mother would hire somebody on her team because this nourished mother is also a CEO. It leads to radical life-altering, aligned action. We all typically have a daily bathing practice. The next time you shower, implement the shower meditation, the shower manifestation. Our fourth practice that we're going to talk about is I am. I am is life-altering, powerful. Some of you are in my world because I created a video 2.5 years ago that went crazy, crazy viral, all about how sacred I am statements are. Neville Goddard would call this, he would call this SATS, S-A-T-S, state akin to sleep. And it's a technique that involves visualizing your desired outcome in a state of relaxation when you are in a theta brainwave state. So what we know to be true about theta brainwave states is we all access this no matter what, typically when you wake up first thing in the morning and right before bed, and also after meditation or during Shavasana. I talk about this in the Align Coaching certification, but it's also the state where you are most open to hypnosis. So when you practice SATS, you are self-hypnotizing. You are hypnotizing yourself to speak to your subconscious mind in a different way than ever before. You are telling yourself a story where you have all you desire, where you are the person you need to be to have all you desire. And this is when I like to work with I am statements. I am statements are life-altering, powerful. I am are the two most powerful words in the English language. You embody that which follows I am. So always use kind, authentic, and loving words after. Adjectives that describe the person that you are and the person that you desire to be. I made myself a tea. So I want everyone to take a moment right now and to write down your I am statements. We did a meditation the other day in the Align Coaching certification where you chant out loud your I am statements, but it is so important to get clear on your I am statements as we talk about another manifestation practice. So take a moment right now, and if you're comfortable, I invite you to share in the chat. What I am statements are you calling in? What are your I am statements? So let's say, for example, you are an entrepreneur and you are struggling right now and you desire to not be struggling and you want to be financially abundant. I am a multiple six-figure CEO. I am celebrating consistent 10K months. I am celebrating 5 soulmate clients. I am financially abundant. If you are manifesting your highest possible soulmate, I am in a loving and romantic partnership. I am married to the most beautiful being I could have ever known. I am deeply seen and heard by my beloved. I am loved so deeply and completely for the person that I am. If you are looking to heal, like just straight up, you're in the thick of it and you want to feel better. How many of us want to feel better, right? So many of us just want to feel good in our own skin. I am in a healthy headspace. I am in a healthy headspace. I am healthy. I am grounded. I am somebody that can move throughout the day in peace. I am peace. I am in peace. Take a moment right now and write down your I am statement. For those of you who are just joining us, we are writing down our I am statements. And if you feel comfortable, I'd love for you to share them in the chat. You can either privately chat them to me in the Q&A, or you can share them in the webinar chat. I do encourage you to always share them as it reaffirms them. It's as if you are like sharing from the rooftops what you are calling in, what you desire to embody. I am in a healthy headspace. I am a world traveler. If you are manifesting adventure, traveling to see the world, spiritual connection, clarity, say, I am joining the world. You can join me in Italy in May. I'd love to have you. Natasha says, I am a vessel of healing and kindness. Beautiful, Natasha. Thank you. Get clear on your I am statements. I am seen for who I am, deeply and completely. Beautiful. Once you are clear on your I am statements, I want you to write them down. I know a lot of us are on our computers right now, so I invite you to create a new sticky note and type them out there so that you can see them behind your screen. With your I am statements, I typically like to write them on a piece of paper and put them all over the house. I read them, I have them on my bathroom mirror, and I read them as I'm brushing my teeth in the morning. And the thing that I encourage you to do with your I am statements is get them stuck in your head like an earworm. So I've been singing so many Wicked songs. I thought the movie was out of this world. I'm a huge fan, like so many of you. I know Greta's on this call. There's so many people on this call that love Broadway and singing and Wicked, I'm sure. So try to get these words stuck in your ear, stuck in your head. And it almost looks like all day you are singing to yourself your I am statements to the tune of Popular. Wes says, I am worthy, I am courageous, I am independently wealthy, I am a connector for ultra high value people, I am an inspiration, I am loved. Beautiful, amazing. I hold all of this for you, amen. What is the science behind manifestation? So I have this really interesting article coming out with TZR Bustle. And when it comes to the science behind manifestation, I feel so. Actually, this is the truth. When my book came out in May, I went on a podcast tour. And everybody, a lot of people that weren't necessarily in the spiritual space, they always wanted to challenge me on law of attraction and manifestation. And this is what I always come back to. When you think about your desires, when you think about what you want to call into your life, you feel good, right? You feel happy. You are sitting connected to the thing that you want most. It feels good. What does that do to you on a cellular level? What does that do to your brain? What does that do to your body? When you feel good, you change everything around you. You are uplifted. You are nourished. So my professor from Columbia, Dr. Dan Tomasulo, I'm actually going to drop his book in the chat if this resonates with anyone. He wrote the book, The Positivity Effect, and my other professor, Dr. Lisa Miller, wrote the foreword. And in The Positivity Effect, he essentially proves what I'm telling you right now. So it's simple techniques to transform anxiety and negativity into optimism and hope. So when you feel good, you become a higher level energetic match to the thing that you desire, to the thing that you are calling in. The best example I love to share is, when there's a long, like you're trying to get a cup of coffee and there's a long line and like you're kind of in a hurry. How many times have you stood in that line and just scrolled on your phone and kept your head down? Versus the time that you roll your shoulders back, you decide that everything is quite divine, that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And maybe you start chit-chatting with the person in front of you in line. Maybe you smile at a stranger. Maybe somebody buys you a cup of coffee. It's as if you are tuning into a different frequency of joy, of alignment, of gusto, of hope. This is what's possible. This is what's possible for you. The positivity effect is profound research and how embodiment, connecting to joy and nourishment, has a profound ripple effect. Dr. Tomasulo was my positive psychology professor at Columbia, and I educate a lot on the science of happiness and positive psychology, because once you know these practices, once you know how to implement your strengths, how to facilitate more meaning in your life, how to have like-minded relationships, there is an incredibly profound ripple effect. Just like so many of you who have done my programs or are currently in my programs, it feels so good to finally meet somebody that thinks similarly, that connects with you in a deep way, that you feel called to relate to more intimately. And there's God in that. I always say, God is truth. The truth of who you are, the truth of what feels honest. And that's the core of positive psychology as well. PERMA, the PERMA model, which was brought to the world by Martin Seligman, University of Pennsylvania. So my professor Tomasulo studied with Seligman. And the PERMA model states that it is essential to implement PERMA. P is positive emotions. This means practicing gratitude. E means engagement. This means practicing your strengths. R is relationships, going out of your way to have nourishing relationships. M is meaning. Where do you have purpose and legacy in your life? A is achievement. What are you working towards? So many of us love to learn. So many of us are curious. Are you allowing yourself to sink your teeth into something new? I love learning about spirituality, human design, German new medicine, manifestation, meditation, Kabbalah. These are actually the core themes of what we will be studying in Nourished Tuscany as well. So Nourished Tuscany is a 6-month program. It's beginning in January. We're going to be studying these profound spiritual and psychological themes, meeting twice a month, deep coaching, deep group coaching, and then meet for a life-changing 5-day retreat in the most delicious place on earth, Tuscany, Italy. Okay, so just to recap what we've done so far, because we still have so much to do, so much I want to dive into. We talked about the congratulations or the telephone method. We talked about the whisper method, the shower timeline hopping embodiment method, writing down our I am statements. We talked about the positivity effect and the research by Dr. Dan Tomasulo and the science of happiness, the PERMA model by Dr. Martin Seligman. We're now going to move into the holy grail of all manifestation practices. And if you are familiar with my work, you've done this before, and I bring it up because it works, and this is snapshot manifestation. We're going to move into this right now. Before we dive in, you are going to choose an event, a very specific event that is going to occur 6 months to a year and a half from now. It is an event that will occur whether you are there or not. That is very important. So it can't be hypothetical. It can't be hypothetical of when my family comes visit me in this vague time in the summer. It's a very specific event. So maybe a family wedding, maybe for an upcoming holiday, you're always at your aunt's house. It's something that will exist whether you are there or not. We're going to move into this manifestation once you have this event, and I will guide you from there. In the interest of time, I'm going to keep this practice a bit shorter than I normally teach it, but that's okay, it's just as potent. We are going to close our eyes, connect to our breath. And I want you to picture golden braided roots from the base of your tailbone moving through the floor into the ground, connecting to the earth's core. The base of the tailbone is connected to the soul of the earth. You are grounded, centered, and present. From this place of groundedness, you can dive deep. On your next inhale, you are going to picture yourself at a specific event that will occur whether you are there or not 6 months to a year and a half from now, somewhere in that time range. And at this event, you have all you desire. You are going to visualize at this event Notice who is there with you, what you are wearing, the taste in your mouth, the sounds that you hear. For example, let's say that you are at a family wedding and you're sitting at the table eating dinner with your beloved, and you're manifesting your highest soulmate. And your beloved drapes their arm behind your chair. You share a little conversation. Your beloved says to you, I'm going to go get you a drink, and doesn't even need to ask for your order because they know what you want. Maybe your cousin comes by and asks you about your beloved, and you say, oh, I'm so happy. I feel so seen. I feel so loved. They're the best. Maybe you're manifesting great success in your business, and at this event, you look at your phone and you receive a very exciting email. Maybe about a client that wants to sign with you, a publication that wants to interview you. Maybe you go on social media and see that your most recent post went viral. Perhaps you go to the restroom at this event and you look in the mirror and your skin is glowing. You seem toned, strong, healthy. Because you're calling in wellness, vitality. Maybe somebody compliments your outfit and you say, thank you. I got it on my recent trip to Italy, because you are manifesting travel, excitement, wonder. We're going to move into just a moment of silence so you could really feel into all of this. Breathe here. Allow yourself to trip into this visualization. Snapshot manifestation is quite profound because you can manifest multiple things at once. You are embodying, you are living all your deep desires and dreams. Breathe here. Very gently on your next inhale, picture golden braided roots from the base of your tailbone moving through the floor into the ground and connecting to the earth's core. Inhale deeply, lower belly expands. Exhale completely, let it go. And when you're ready, you're going to roll your shoulders back, gently open up your eyes, coming into this space. That is your snapshot manifestation. For the next 40 days, you are going to connect to that feeling state. Notice the primary feeling state for you. The reason snapshot manifestation is so life-altering, it shows you what you deeply desire, and you can manifest multiple things at once, and it offers course correction. So if in your snapshot manifestation you are with your beloved, yet you're not dating today, something needs to shift. If in your snapshot manifestation you are healthy, you have vitality, your skin is clear, your arms are toned, yet you don't move your body at all today, something needs to shift. If in your snapshot manifestation you are an entrepreneur and you're traveling the world, yet you have no plans to travel or launch a business or anything like that, something needs to shift. We do this by implementing soul time. Soul time is a non-negotiable amount of time where you are bearing your heart to God as you understand it and to yourself, claiming that you are going to take up space in this life. You are going to take up space in this life. Manifestation requires aligned action rooted in goodness and authenticity. So for myself in my snapshot manifestation, when I was manifesting John, I agreed to show up for the miracle, which was dates, introductions. I was on the apps for a small period of time. When in my snapshot manifestation, I was a best-selling author, yet I wasn't writing. My soul time was writing the book. My soul time was about 35 minutes, and I wrote my book in 2.5 months. Your soul time is a daily practice. If in your snapshot manifestation you are healthful and you are strong, yet you are not moving your body today, perhaps your snapshot manifestation can be a daily practice of working out, of moving your body, of stretching, maybe signing up for a yoga membership or a gym. Decide right now what your soul time is going to be. Decide right now what your soul time is going to be. Is it going to be a daily writing practice? If in your snapshot manifestation you're in a healthy headspace, perhaps your soul time is a daily meditation practice. Perhaps your soul time is regularly connecting to manifestation. Feel free to drop in the chat, what is your soul time going to be? I want you to tell me the action you are going to take and the increment of time. So is it 20 minutes of writing? Is it 10 minutes of asking for shidduchs or introductions to meet your soulmate? Let me know what your soul time is going to be. Sherry says 10 minutes of yoga, beautiful. The 10 minutes of yoga is going to get you closer to your snapshot manifestation, because likely in your snapshot manifestation, you were flexible, you were toned, you had breath in your body. Beautiful. Let me know what your soul time is going to be. This is the physical aligned action. This is the embodiment that you are going to take, as if you are claiming to yourself and the world around you, I am taking up space in my life. I am showing up deeply and completely for who I desire to be. Melissa says hot sauna, alone and in complete silence. Oh my God, I'll have some of that. How divine. I love it. Beautiful. Peace of mind, connection, health, vitality. Marissa says 30 minutes of any daily movement that feels good to me. I love it, Marissa. How beautiful. So important. So here's the next step, and then we're going to close out and connect for Q&A. Natasha says, work on healing my own injuries. Beautiful, Natasha. Let's get an increment of time there. Greta says 15 minutes of researching graduate programs. I love it, Greta. How beautiful. Notice what comes through for you. 15 to 20 minutes. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you. Decide right now that you are going to show up for this. And now we're going to talk about the law of massive aligned action. The law of massive aligned action is a life-altering, beautiful, powerful practice. And this is how it goes. You are going to wake up in the morning and you are going to chant your I am statements. So for myself, it looks different for every single person because you're in such a suggested brainwave state. You could even write it on a sticky note and just have it on your bedside table so that when you wake up in the morning, you are reading it. It could be your morning alarm clock is your I am statements. You are then going to move throughout your day and you are going to show up for your soul time. You are going to show up and have the physical aligned action. And then before you go to bed, you are going to come back into your I am statements. So that's the law of massive aligned action. I am statements in the morning, soul time during the day where you are taking physical aligned action on the deep desire and dream. And then I am statements before going to bed. What does this do? You are reprogramming the subconscious mind. You are telling the inner beings of self that you are embodying that which follows I am. It is as if you are saying, I am God, I am. I am is so powerful. Please give it the holiness and the respect it deserves. If you look into the strength of those words, you'll see a lot of work by Goddard and Wayne Dyer about how I am is stepping into the miraculous version of yourself, the essence of yourself. You are the hero that you need. You need to worship at your own feet. I am will claim that for you. The law of massive aligned action. Just a recap. You are going to say your I am statements upon waking up in the morning. I encourage you also to connect to the feeling state of your snapshot manifestation. You are going to take physical aligned action with soul time during the day, no matter what. Give yourself that, no matter what. And before you go to bed, you are going to say your I am statements once again. I now want to share with you a little bit, an interesting story that upon further reflection, as I have matured and grown and doubled my devotion to my spiritual connection. When I was manifesting John, when I was in my daily devotional of calling in my highest possible soulmate, I missed a step that I want to talk to you about right now, that thank God there was an intervention. I was dating somebody else during this time. Right before I met John, I was dating someone. And I call this person Chicago Chad. And Chicago Chad, he felt like he could be. He could have been, right? He could have been what I was calling in. There was a lot there. Yet he, at some point, and this was a brief, thank God, a brief relationship. And it started off so strong. And I'm talking like a week or two, that was very strong. And then somewhere along the way, I felt like I wasn't being invited in. I felt like I wasn't being seen. However, I was so clear on my devotional, I was so clear on my snapshot manifestation that I kept showing up for the relationship because this was my agreement. I knew my soulmate was so close, I could feel it. I knew this was the time of my life that I was going to meet my soulmate. And I remember just showing up for that, for Chicago Chad, in a way where I let a part of myself down because I knew I wasn't being fully seen in that relationship. Thank God it was brief. Yet I just felt my soulmate was so near that, and I was so aligned and I was so prepared. I was missing the key point of surrender. When we are manic manifesting, we are missing the point because we do not know better than God. We do not know better than divine as we understand it. And during this time that I was dating Chicago Chad, that's also when I went to Rosh Hashanah services and I saw my now mother-in-law. And I said to her, L'Shana Tova, Happy Jewish New Year. And she said to me, Shana Tova, Erin, Happy New Year to you. And just so you know, my son John is single. Thank God for that intervention. And I took a gentle aligned action by Facebook friending John. And it just so happens that when Chicago Chad and I broke up, I opened up my phone and I saw, or I guess it was the week before we broke up, a message from John in my Facebook Messenger. So I was already connected with John even before this relationship was about to expire. As we are calling in our deepest desires and dreams, as we are showing up for the massive aligned action, as we are pre-programming the subconscious mind, you have to leave room for the miracle. You have to allow a little bit or a lot of bit of surrendering. And the way that I like to define surrender is leaving space for the miracle, leaving space for the divine, and having a gentleness with the journey that we're moving on. So, as you are showing up for the massive aligned action, as you are claiming to the world around you that you desire all the things that you desire, make sure you are leaving room for the miracle, that you are not pushing or shoving or aggressively asking for the thing that you want, or tricking yourself into thinking that maybe this is it, maybe this will work, because our emotions don't lie. and we need to leave space for the miracle. We need to surrender just a little bit. So I have a couple things that I want to share with all of you because I'm so excited about this space. Thank you all so much for showing up. This is what we did together just now, just to recap, because we did a lot. We talked about Neville Goddard and the congratulations telephone method, then the whisper method. Then we talked about the shower time hopping method, which is a deep embodiment practice. We talked about our I am statements and wrote them down, the positivity effect by Dan Tomasulo and the PERMA model by Dr. Martin Seligman. We moved into our snapshot manifestation. We got clear on the feeling state that comes through in our snapshot manifestation and our soul time. We talked about the law of massive aligned action, which is waking up in the morning, saying your I am statements, doing and embodying your soul time during the day, and then ending the day with your I am statements as well, while also connecting to the feeling state of your snapshot manifestation. And then I want to remind you to also surrender, to also hold space for the miracle, to also leave room for the divine along the way. There's a couple things that my business is sharing with the world right now. If you have any questions, comments, feelings, feel free to drop them in the chat right now, and I will answer them. And I'm just going to share a couple updates that I am extremely excited about, and the things that I am sharing with the world that I'm very, very excited about. Let me just grab the proper link. So as of right now, this exact moment, my book is $12 on Amazon. Myself nor my publisher is responsible for the fluctuations of this price. And we are running a promotion that if you buy 22 copies of Nothing Can Stop You, you get a one-on-one breakthrough session with me. I don't typically offer one-on-one often, so please take advantage. So I just want you to see, you also get Soul Immersion, my online course, which is $555. Soul Immersion is a transformational, I know a lot of you have moved through it. It's a deeply spiritual program. It is absolutely quite potent. So when you buy 22 books, you get a one-on-one breakthrough session with me and Soul Immersion. I heavily encourage you to take advantage of this offer if this resonates, because it's $12 for a book right now. The book is normally $20. So you're getting all of these things at an absolute bargain. So if that resonates, I just dropped in the chat the link to Amazon. And if you are listening to this, you can just go to Amazon, search my name, Erin Doppelt, or my book, Nothing Can Stop You. And you will see that right now it is $12.37. And you can buy 22 copies. And just email the receipt to hello@erinracheldoppelt.com. And the thing that I am so extremely beyond ecstatic about is if you desire to take up space in your life in the most radical way, and you want to study with myself, and you want to dive deep, I have the most incredible offering for you, which is Nourished Tuscany, where you get to work with myself, the most incredible group of people. So myself, and then some of my friends who are experts in their field, whether it's spiritual or psychological. We are going to meet every month for twice a month, and then for a 5-day delicious, life-changing retreat in Tuscany, Italy. Our retreat center is, it's about 20 minutes outside of Siena, about an hour outside of Florence, and it's 9 minutes from Monte Gigero, which is a medieval town, like beautiful, amazing, exquisite medieval town. And our retreat center is a farm-to-table agriturismo, which means that everything is organic and beautiful. It's an organic wine vineyard as well. They have natural springs on their property. It is the most incredible space that I could have ever dreamed up. On our retreat, we are going to move into deep spiritual practice, have profound, eye-opening epiphanies and awakenings. Eat the most delicious food ever. You will feel it in your womb. And I am just ecstatic to share this with all of you. We are going to dive into profound workshops virtually, and then also as well on the retreat. It is going to be the absolute most amazing time. I'm ecstatic about it. And we are offering $500 off for all of you. So if you go to the website, you will see that it says $500 off for a limited time. We have flexible payment plans as well. We have a lot of people signing up to travel solo. We have a lot of people coming mother-daughter as well. And it's a small, powerful, intimate group. Virtually, we are going to be studying spiritual themes. So if you love to learn, if you're naturally curious, if you want to sink your teeth into profound spiritual and psychological practices to uplift and enhance your life, this is the space for you. I know for myself, when I'm learning, I'm happiest. When I'm happiest. When I'm curious, I'm happiest. When I'm connecting with like-minded people, I'm happiest. In the PERMA model, we talk about R, which is relationships, and it's so essential to find a like-minded group of people. As many of you know, because I know some of you have joined me on retreat in the past, I used to have a huge retreat business before COVID. I lived in Florence, Italy in college. It was the best 20 pounds I ever gained. And I have just been so desiring to get back there and to bring my soulmate clients there, my friends there as well. So Nourished Tuscany is a 6-month group coaching program where we are going to be studying deep spiritual and psychological themes. And then we meet for 5 days in Tuscany. And I just the price in itself is the cost of what it would be to go on retreat. So I want you to just think about how the 6 months container is like a huge added bonus to support with integration, to support with self-study. Any questions, comments, feelings, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'm going to answer them now. I invite you to message me on Instagram for any questions you might have after this call about Nourished Tuscany or about a breakthrough session if you choose to buy 22 books. We do have flexible payment plans for Nourished Tuscany, so just know that that's something that you can move into if that is something that you desire. I am so extremely ecstatic for the people who are already taking action and showing up for Nourished Tuscany, because it just ensures that 2025 is going to be so radically different than any other year, because you are going to travel to Europe. You are going to study with myself for 6 months. You are going to learn something new that will enhance and transform your life. I always say we move throughout life and then we learn something that can absolutely hop timelines. We learn something that just changes our perception around ourselves and the world around us. If you are feeling depleted, disconnected, anxious, seasonal sadness, understimulation. I think understimulation is one of the biggest themes that I see of all. It's usually a cry for curiosity, for love of learning, for connection and community, for authenticity. How good will it feel for you to authentically belong, connect with like-minded people, and not have to edit yourself in any way? Any questions, comments, feelings, feel free to drop them in the chat. Debbie says, beautiful as always, so great to see you and listen to you. Thank you, Debbie, so fun to be with you. The question of, is there other places to buy the book besides Amazon? Yes, nothing can stop you is sold everywhere books are sold. However, this pricing of $12 is only available right now at Amazon. Because of Black Friday, I think Amazon discounted their whole stock of books. So everyone's book right now is heavily discounted. A lot of books right now are heavily discounted. However, to get soul immersion and a one-on-one breakthrough session with me, and to buy 22 books is I hope, a sweet deal. I know some people have already taken advantage of that offer, and those breakthrough sessions have been so incredible and so potent. Any other questions, comments, feelings, you can message me on Instagram at Erin R. Doppelt. If you did buy my book already, I would so appreciate if you could leave a review on Amazon and Goodreads. It just helps other people find my book and connect to my book. And that's one way to to just continue making sure that people are finding the necessary tools they need to heal, align, and grow. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for being present. I pray that this served you and that you feel seen in this work. And I'm just so joyful that you spent some of your day with me. Have the best day. Feel good. If I can support you in any way, just let me know. And this is my team's email, hello@erinracheldoppelt.com. Should anything come up for you. Otherwise, you can message me on Instagram @Erin R. Doppelt. Thank you all so much. Have the best day and feel good.